Alright, so rendezvous with Alastair complete. We've got all the stuff, so we've been given some sort of like snow goggles from our dad, some maps and some pointers, some waterproof maps, and so now we are heading to Edinburgh Airport, flying EasyJet to Reykjavik. We'll do a little bit of a gear sort of unpack once we arrive at the hotel tonight, so you can see everything, because we were going to do that but we just didn't get a chance. So on the road now, I will catch up with you guys soon.
Tatty bye.
Tatty bye. We've just landed. Turbulence schmurbulence.
We were flying in the snow and it was like we were in hyperspace. I loved it. I geeked out.
Were you looking at the window and seeing it all like whizzing past?
Yeah, but then the lady next to me didn't appreciate it because I went, punch it, Chewie.
So here we are. I'm just about to fill up on water and then get ourselves to the car. I've just messaged the hotel. They can let us check in whenever we want, so we're good. Yes. Go drive, explore.
Yes, queen.
So we have landed. We're just doing the research to find out where we pick up our rental car so that we can get out here, and we're going to go on our first adventure pretty much straight away. We thought about checking into the hotel, but actually we want to take tonight to go out and capture the supermoon. So, deep in thought. Oh. So Alastair, how did you feel your first time on an Icelandic bus?
I'm thrilled.
I'm deeply thrilled. There's snow, there's water, there's wind, it's a bus!
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this exciting because I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but car pickup! Bus! Lotus car pickup, how yoga is that? Our chariot awaits. We've been told to try to not drive into any rivers. I think that should be perfectly doable. It's blowing a bit of a gale at the minute and some of the roads south are shut with snow, so we'll see how we get on our first adventure.
Learn and live, breed.
We just had a little bit of food at the Foss Hotel in Reykjavik. We're just prepping for tomorrow. We're doing a bit of a DIY Golden Circle tour. We've got our twin beds for twins, of course. Early start, down for a 6:30 in the morning breakfast, get some things to put in our bags. And then we're heading, where are we heading first?
I'm thinking we're going to head up to Gullfoss,
Mm-hmm.
and then the geyser, and then we're going to go and check out some Viking ruins. Pushing on to that, push on from there, we'll head down a couple of waterfalls, and I mean we just need to see weather dependent how far we get.
Yep. Looking forward to it. So we've not checked the weather yet, so it's the next thing on our list, because there's been some road closures today because of blizzards. So our plan to go south first didn't happen, but it means we kind of get like a little bit of downtime before tomorrow. Yeah, keep posted. It's 8 AM, it's pitch black. We are heading up to Gullfoss first.
Yep.
It's currently snowing a little bit. We just scraped the car of snow, and yeah, it's quite chilly. We've got our thermals on, so we're ready to go. So hopefully we'll fill you in with some stuff once it starts to brighten up. If not, then photos and things at the Gullfoss. Entering Icelandic hyperspace. Starting to get a little bit of light now. So it's about 10 o'clock here. We've been driving in the dark, blizzards on really snowy roads. The roads are pretty much deserted the whole way that we're going, so we're hoping it'll be nice and quiet when we get to the Gullfoss. Another 10 kilometers or so to over there. We've arrived at the Gullfoss. How was the drive, Al?
My hands are numb from gripping the steering wheel so tight.
But on the plus side, like it is, I can see the falls from here. That looks absolutely amazing. The light is just coming up and there's no one else here, so we're on our Todd. Al's just there, getting ready. And we are heading over here to the Gullfoss. As you can see, it's pretty much a whiteout all over. We got some serious snow spells coming in. We came through a fair amount of it. We're alone here, just us. So we're gonna enjoy that and make the most of it while we can. I'm just going ahead a little bit. Making first footsteps of the day in the snow. I've got my snow boots on, which I'm really glad about, because it's now up to like the top of my snow boots. So That's Alastair coughing his guts up. So he's got a serious chest infection, so, you know, I'm here as caretaker, but also explorer. Oh, this looks amazing. So I can see the foss from here. I'm just coming up to the signs. I don't think we're going to see any waterfalls. There's simply not enough light for that just now. So Gullfoss, designated as a nature reserve in 1979, permanently to protect the waterfall. Amazing. So it looks like we take a path up from here to head over to see the falls. How spectacular is this? So you can see how frozen it is, down to the right. Only other people here there are 2 people down there, I think, doing some filming. Quite spectacular. Alright Al, how you doing?
Great. There's about 1.5 feet of snow. No one here. It's fucking awesome.
I'll bleep that last bit out so it's user friendly for the kids. Oh wow, look at all that spray coming up. Just over the edge. There's just all the spray coming up just obviously right as it goes towards the plunge pool. And we're wading down, like we want to get in there. It's going to be quite a bit of spray I think. But we want to get in there, do a wee bit of video, a wee bit of photo. So we climbed up a wee bit more. It is chilly con carnival. Al's setting up to do some slow capture. I'm trying to work out if the snow is too deep to do any yoga in. We will find out. So I don't think we're meant to be on this shelf, but here we are. We just kind of come off the path this way. So we can get a little look at the falls, these icicles, and then down into the valley a little bit more. It's amazing. We've just left the Gullfoss. We're on our way to the geyser. The sun is up, and a little bit more light, well, a lot more light. And it's really lit the place up. Like, we had no clue this was here on the way here. We knew there'd be fields of snow. We didn't know it'd be like this. It's getting pretty slidey now. So we're going to focus on driving. Or he's going to focus on driving. I'm going to focus on fitting. Oh honey, talk about gaseous emissions, honey. I had one last night. Look how much it's bubbling. Crazy geothermal. Amazing. Al, first time seeing hot springs, what do you think?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, geysers
Pretty
actually like quite a bit more spectacular than I thought it would be.
It's that big. It's the pit of boiling water. That's awesome.
Yeah, constant boiling water. This reminds me of Solfatara in Italy. I don't think you've been there.
No.
It used to be thought of as the underworld because of the sulphur smell and the smoke and absence of life. Doesn't seem to be an absence of life here. It seems to thrive in the warmth. So like I was saying a minute ago, I've not really been to a sulphur field or hot springs since Solfatara in Italy. And in the hot springs there's obviously like the sulphur pits and like bubbling mud pits. But there's no geyser, so first time seeing a geyser, I'm thoroughly impressed. And even though the sun is maybe only been up for like an hour and a half, it looks like it's already sunset. That's the golden glow that we are bathed in, which really sets off our gingerness.
Hey, no ginge.
The skies are darkening with emerging snow. You see the last of the light around about 11:30 in the day. Maybe a wee bit longer. The snow's taking it. Tip for keeping the costs down. At breakfast, made a few wee sandwiches. Now it is the lunch of champions. We just stopped in to see some new friends. Some Icelandic ponies. Ice on their backs. Trying to say hello. The last lot ran away, but this lot seems to be pretty friendly with us. Right, we're gonna get back on our way. Oh, you bite them. Yeah, you. We thought we would go and heckle at Hekla, but a sort of snow cloud blew in right over it as we were getting close to it, so Alastair was able to get some shots around it, and one right before the cloud cat kind of turned into like a proper snow whiteout. So we are now heading down to Vic. We're back on the main roads. We've still got a little bit of light. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have that for. But our aim is to get towards the abandoned DC plane that's on one of the black sand beaches down on the south coast. We're on our way there. So we've pulled in on our way to Vic to Seljalanfoss, a big waterfall that we spotted on the side of the road. Not going to want to miss this. Check out these falls. So since the foot is here, and we're going to head behind the falls. There's a path that takes us behind them underneath. So it's amazing. We've taken refuge behind the falls after getting soaked on the way in, and this is it from behind. So that sort of deluge there. I'm going to turn around and show you more. Well, waterfall, you got us. We are beaten by the wind, beaten by water. I have snow in my hair. I feel frozen. But bugger that. We're gonna go and look for a beached airplane. Adventuring, go home. We're a wee bit drier, and now we're off to the Solmine Massenda plane wreck, which is down just before Wick. So there was no fatalities on that flight. There was an error and the pilot landed there, and it's sort of stayed there since. So we're gonna go look at that. It's a really interesting shelled out DC plane. Yeah, we'll get some neat photos there on the black sand beaches. So we'll be going from one extreme of being completely soaked to, well, actually I don't know what the other extreme is going to be. It's not going to be warm and dry. So probably, you know what, more of the same. More of the same. Just about plane in it. Well, it's been a long walk to get to this downed plane. Ooh, and a cold one. Day 2, we have been listening to a lot of Icelandic radio, and it basically sounds like a drunk Scottish person. So we keep catching ourselves like, did they just say that? No, we're in Iceland. Of course they didn't say that. We're heading off a kind of similar area to yesterday, up near the Golden Circle, so that we can head towards a glacier with the aim of kind of looking at, there's like glacier tunnels there. There's been a lot of snow overnight, so we're hoping that the roads will be clear or clear-ish on our way there. If not, we'll just get stuff on the way. Day 2, we have been listening to a lot of Icelandic radio, and it basically sounds like a drunk Scottish person. So we keep catching ourselves like, did they just say that? No, we're in Iceland. Of course they didn't say that. We're heading off a kind of similar area. So the road here was a wee bit treacherous, wasn't it?
Oh god.
But it is like we are on the moon. It's just snowscape as far as you can see. We're heading up to some caves. Rising for quite a while. We're just heading up here for some caves. We've been assured there's a really good cafe, but judging by the fact that this is what is around you, there aren't really any other coffee options. So we were met at the caves by a gentleman wearing tweeds.
Very well dressed.
Very well dressed, very well spoken. Offered us a cup of coffee and a wee bit of cake. I've taken a photo of it, so you'll see that on the photo blog of the week. The week. Honest to God, like how a business survives out here. I think we'll be the only people here all day. Anyway, so we're off back in the car for some squeaky bum driving back up this snowy road. Squeaky bum drive up the road done. We also discovered something that I wish we had realised sooner, which was what, Alastair?
I have been driving the 4x4 the entire time with the 4x4 mode off.
Yeah.
That'll be why it's been so fun.
So, a few things have happened. We were on our way to the glacier and then the roads got too snowy, so we thought, okay, there's signs to Selfoss. We didn't make it there yesterday, let's go. We get to Selfoss and we have been deceived, Iceland! Deceived! The word foss does not necessarily always mean it's a beautiful, spectacular waterfall.
Sometimes
it was just a town called Selfoss. And so we were like, great. So now we were like, okay, what are we going to do? What have we got time for? So we were heading towards Reykjavik to potentially the Blue Lagoon, and we've stopped at the side of the road.
We've got
Side of the road.
geothermals beside the sea.
There's some geothermals alongside the sea. We're going to see if we can go get some photos there. The landscape is super mega bleak. There's nothing here. We're not seeing anything in ages, and we've got another 50 kilometers of this road. So we thought, let's take a wee break, head over. Sun's up. There's some geothermal activity and waves crashing. Should be full of drama, just like life. I'm living for these snow goggles.
Yeah.
Why, Alastair? Because if you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. So we've wandered down. There's not a lick of wind. You can see these huge waves rolling in, like smacking up against the coast. It's just black. You just hear the waves. See them as well. Driving by landscapes like this in the geopark for about an hour, like no houses, nothing, just sort of magma formations. You can see like the geometric shapes kind of coming up through some of the columns, but there's no way to cross it. It's just jagged rock. And so looking forward, it's like that all the way to the sea is the same thing. Crazy. So we've just swung by the Blue Lagoon. We're not sure if we're going to take a dip yet. We're going to check out the price point, but look at how blue that is behind. Get from the front. You can see kind of how those sulfur crystals in the water right out. We're going to take a walk around so you can see like, all the steam. It's really quite magical here. The sun up and then the vapor just rising. It's amazing. well worth having a look around the Blue Lagoon, I think. We're both a bit wet because it was just snowing there, so we got a little bit wet. Definitely pre-book. I mean, it's about, what did we say, about like 55 quid per person for the basic package.
Yeah.
We hadn't booked, so there was no availability, and there's like 9 full buses here at the same time. So there was no hope that we were going to get in. It's something that we would definitely pre-book next time. This is more of an off chance on the way to Kilted. So I think now our next trip is going to be to Viking World, which sounds super promising. I mostly want to see this one drinking out of a sort of horn and seeing what you can eat, which will be the same as me, to be honest.
Bring me my meat!
If you're driving, you have a mead. Hi Lambie! We're just leaving the Blue Lagoon. We just had our stolen lunches that we ate, that we took from the hotel this morning. We're off to Viking World before handing the car back. Yeah, then we'll be getting the flight. We're coming here even just to see the Iceland. We get to go on it in a sec. So a recreation, and this one actually sailed to North America, which is crazy to think about, like this open ship. While I enjoyed kind of reading about sort of the Icelandic Viking stuff, I found it a wee bit frustrating that like one bit of the exhibit was like, oh, this could be a piece of evidence, but it was discovered that it isn't a piece of evidence, but we've put it in here anyway to take up space, because you know we've run out of space to put stuff. And then upstairs, like, yeah, there was like the Viking longship, and that was really cool. But then there was this whole like gods and goddesses and mythology part that the lights were all off, and it wouldn't work. Like, oh, okay. So there's no drinking horns, there was no costumes and capes, even though you get that in historic Scotland stuff when you go to Shetland. How did you find it, Al?
Meh.
Nah, exactly. So, we have a little bit of time left. We're just wondering what we're going to do with this house. So we're heading to the Dolan Lava Cave, and the hope that we can redeem a wee bit of time and see another thing before we have to return the car. We have learned some important lessons, I think, this trip about...
Shit, it just goes straight in.
Oh, is that it there? About researching where we're going. So we've just arrived at the Dolan Lava Cave. Alastair just pointed, being like, oh shit, it's right there. So I guess we're here and it's here. So I'll let you know what it is. Cave! Cave! The amount of light that we have had has been greatly misrepresented. We were basically told we'd be here and it'd be nothing but dark. So Alastair's got this like mega heavy duty torch, which will be perfect for descending into the cave. Hmm? Out the way. You lead. Oh. So here we are. Steps going down into the cave. I'm not sure how far it goes in, but I can see lots of icicles hanging down. I went back for gear. So I've got my head torch. Al has got his head torch, as you can see, or maybe you can't see because he's got his head torch on. We've also got this light panel that we're going to take down into there, which will light it up. Alastair's back there. I'm inside the cave. I'm really glad for this light that I've got. Heading through. I mean, it's quite amazing. It's really sharp rock. I've cut my knee on a bit. That's my own fault. Plus I've got my knees out. So, there we go. Oh wow. Well, it's wet under here. Al? Oh, I don't know if you can see in there. It's like a chasm. We're in here. It's big enough to stand up in. I mean, there's Al. He's standing on a raised part. You still can't see. So if that's back the way we came, there's like a little bit down there. I'm not surprised tourists don't come here because actually it's a little bit tricky, and without
Machine light.
Yeah, without the light it's really difficult to see anything.
There's a view.
What? Oh, it's tight. Oh. It's not big enough to even get onto it all fours. Oh, it is. So there's the cave mouth behind us. we went back a wee bit more. I loved it. I loved it. Like,
I mean, how many times can you say you're inside a volcanic cave?
I know,
I mean,
so
we were a good bit in.
yeah, I can imagine people not wanting to go through that because I mean we were on all fours maybe 2 times. Plus the bit that was really spooky for me getting through. That last chamber, if you go to it, there is nothing else in it. It's just a small chamber. I could be like in a kneeling position, but no higher than that. So like you don't need to go through that last one. That was a spooky one. Yeah, but it's dark in there. I mean, head torches were fine. This thing, light box, amazing, amazing. Right, we need to take this back to the airport now. So that was a good last wee adventure.
It was.
Goodbye, Iceland.
Please, I would like to ask